So it may be hard to see this, but I'm working on a leather book cover. One second. I had to get my seam ripper so I could cut some threads. So it's leather. I have the suede side up. It has this is actually deerskin, and I liked that side better. On the back, I have a layer of regular cotton quilting fabric and batting, and I've tucked the ends under and stitched that down so that I have some loft in there. I couldn't just quilt the plain leather, so I'm using leather needles. They have a different point on them that makes them more able to puncture non-woven materials. So this kind of needle is one that you would also use on, let's say you were wanting to sew some vinyl upholstery material or some other non-porous type fabric. So I'm using that because it's, leather is not a woven product like fabric, and I am using dark brown thread for the quilting portion here. I used matching thread to sew on the backing because I didn't want to get that make that look too prominent, that stitching. I've got a I broke my thread. And let's see why. Well, it broke because there's something binding up my bobbin thread. Making it not want to turn. Well, let's see if that helps. I think the problem is I've got an oddball bobbin in there. I might need a different bobbin. I have sort of an oddball size in there, and it's making obviously it's not turning correctly. Rather than fill up a new one, we'll see if I can get this done without. We'll see. this particular foot is a little too tight, and the one I had in before was a little too loose. And when I say tight, I mean it's putting a lot of pressure on to the fabric, and it makes it harder to maneuver. And this is already harder to maneuver than regular fabric because of this nap that's on the leather. It makes it a little bit more of a challenge to get a nice smooth motion. But I think I can deal with it. So this is a Singer 15 Treadle machine. If you have a regular electric machine, it will work fine on leather if it's thin enough and soft enough. And certainly you're not going to be using it to sew leather shoes or belts or that heavyweight leather, but this is more soft, almost well, like you might sew a jacket with, or leather furniture upholstery. So it's not the big hard leather that would require an industrial machine. Which brings me to another point. As you may know, I'm a big proponent of buying and reconditioning and using vintage machines because I think they're great. So I'm looking at them on eBay all the time. Now, one of the things that they will frequently include in the listing is it'll say industrial strength for leather. Just because a machine will sew through leather does not mean that it's an industrial strength machine. Industrial machines are very different than your standard home machine. They are intended to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have different construction. They have many of them have oil reservoirs and are self-lubricating. They have different gearing. They're different. So even if the advertiser says industrial strength, if it's a basic Singer home machine, it is not, in fact, an industrial sewing machine. Now, that's not to say that it's not good, but it bothers me when they advertise machines as being something that they're not. And Singer made a lot of industrial machines over the years, and they're great machines, but they're not a machine like the one I'm using today. But anyway, as you can see, it stitches through leather just fine. Now I'm going to do a little fill in the center. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but it's just making little circles. This is often called pebbling, because your little stitches will look like pebbles. And some people make them all very much the same size. Some people will have quite a variety of different sizes in their pebbles. I tend to prefer to make slight variations in size. I don't make some giant and some teeny, but I do make a variation in size. Now let me travel out to the outside. I've got to go around the edges. I'm starting, I just penciled my lines in that I'm needing to follow, and unfortunately, once your hands go all over this, you can wear out your lines and lose track of where you're going. So I need to make sure to get out to the edge. Now I'm going to do this all through here. You probably do not need to see me do all of that. But the first part of this is I'm going to make my way over to the edge. One of the things that you might be able to see here as I do this is how the leather itself is so pliable. It's actually bending around as I go. So I've got to do a line across here, and this remaining part will be the fold over part that holds the book cover onto the book. So I wanted to get this line in before I do all the pebble stitches, because it'll help me know where to stop, obviously. And my line is starting to wear off, so I don't want to lose it. Oh, well, all of that sewing, and I had run out of bobbin. So I'm going to stop, and I'll come back and show you a little bit more when I get some progress done. Well, so I'm almost done with the front cover, and This part here is the spine, and then of course that's the back cover. So I'll pretty much do the back the same. Then again, these flaps will get folded under and stitched across along so that the book can tuck into the flaps there, so this becomes a cover. So anyway, that's basically how I'm making a book cover out of quilted leather. I don't know for sure what pattern I will use, but in this section, again, that's the part that will get folded under. I'll quilt something on that, I imagine. I haven't decided what. So probably it'll just be a simple straight up and down feather, because that only takes me a few minutes. And with all this heavy quilting on the front, I don't know that I want to do a whole bunch more like that on the inside too. So that's about it, I guess. Good. Oh. A good couple of hours left to do the back and get it finished. But it should be finished. Well, it's getting late, it's dark out, and I'm starting to have trouble seeing. So I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. I will work on it again when the sun comes up. What I need to do is get myself some better studio light. I had a nice light that would go over my machine, and it burned out, so I got to get a new bulb for that. Anyway, pretty much this is the, I don't know if I can get this into the camera, but this is the back side, and that lighting is pretty weird. Anyway, that's the back side of it, and I think it looks pretty good. And the leather side on the front, and anyway, next I'll do the quilting on the what will be the back side, and we'll be done. So happy quilting.